there's so much opinion, like, I don't know, there's so much information out there, and there's so many opinions out there that we don't need to talk about everything. Not everything needs to have so much conversation about it, when all we're really doing is spouting out our own opinions and ideas, but not taking any action to do anything. So I kind of like the idea of less talk and more action in some of these things, especially when it comes to politics. If you don't like how the world is being run,
then vote.
Then get your ass involved.
Yeah,
voting's important, but voting is just one aspect of it. Like, we have a whole generation of people who are completely unengaged in politics, and you don't like our system, fine. But I guarantee you there's not many out there that are much better right now.
I agree with you.
And so the reason why it doesn't work isn't just because of bad leadership. It's because we're unengaged.
I agree.
We're not actively involved in the system. And so, like, the attitude of like, well, fuck the system, it doesn't work. Well, that's not going to help fix anything.
Right. Each of us matters.
Yeah, and your system, I promise you, if you run your game, it's probably not going to work either once you realize that there's hundreds of millions of people that you have to get to go along with you on that program, right?
Sure. I think it's like politics are just so extreme nowadays. And that goes for people watching too, because some people are so politically active where they sit and watch Fox News or CNN 24/7, and it drives them batshit crazy. And then there's also the people that just put up the wall, become the ostrich, and bury their head in the sand. Right?
When did you get into politics? I actually was, to be honest, I was really surprised that you were, as like well-spoken, well-read, well-versed in like so many different aspects of culture. Like, I was so impressed with you when we reconnected.
Oh God, probably around the first time Obama got elected, I think.
Okay, so you just kind of started to lean into that.
I definitely, started to lean into,
Where do you
politics.
get your news from?
Oh, independent media, a lot of independent sources.
Can I ask a question about, see, I said not to talk about politics, and here we go. When we should be talking about the easy way.
Well,
easy way.
But no, I just want to, like...
Politics ain't easy.
But one thing, though, is that no matter what your media source is, it's backed by something or somebody, right? So just because a news outlet or news source is considered independent doesn't make it any less susceptible to propaganda or you know what I mean?
That's true.
It's backed by someone and something. And not only that, just like the conversations we've had before about, things you're hearing online or getting from, whatever.
Oh man, are you still, you're going to razz him about the Walt Disney dollar?
Well, no, the what?
The Walt Disney dollar that he said a couple days ago.
Well, that's pretty funny too, though, right?
We're going to own everything.
Well, no, or the people who are don't agree with or calling him out for a performance he did or whatever it is.
Lord.
You can't give so much weight to these things as if they're all fact
or
true.
This is 2023, Nick, and we got to respect people's opinions. And
I don't have to read every comment and respect everyone's opinions, bro. That's not how it works.
Yeah, I like everyone has a
platform to spit their ideas out there, but I don't have to listen to every person's ideas or opinions in that way.
Yeah, we got to respect.
There's kind of, it's kind of like, you have to filter through the BS, and the things that really matter kind of find their way to the top.
Well, I'm not going to call someone's opinion bullshit, but at the same time,
well, I didn't call someone's opinion bullshit
or
but,
BS.
But if someone calls you out for a role you did and says you're responsible for someone who committed a crime against them, I'm sorry, that's just not something that you need to carry the weight of.
Well, my grandparents thought rap music, definitely attributed to violence and stuff like that too. So it's not new for our generation.
So you guys are both, but it's interesting because it is such a spectrum these days of people being centered. More people are centered than we realize, but even in that centered thought, there's like folks like you and then folks like Nick. So it's like we are there's a wide range of political beliefs in this country, that's for sure.
Especially when they're becoming more mainstream. I mean, God, think about like Marjorie Taylor Greene, Lauren Boebert. I mean, they're elected to Congress. They're definitely people of power, right?
Yeah, they were voted in.
Yeah, they were voted in. These people vote, so it's, I don't know. Maybe we're in the minority here. I don't know. I don't know anymore.
Oh, I'm tired of talking about politics.
So the easy way.
I'm tired in bed.
Yeah, exactly.
It's so fun to make these like fun segues.
Yeah,
don't you think?
That's a good segue.
Whatever happened with that show?
Even Stevens?
No, the easy way. What happened to that
Let me
episode?
see.
No, you cannot go back and watch this.
Oh, I'm telling Principal
so
Wexler, you're
old.
cheating.
Wait, this is
Oh,
not
wait
the
a
way to
minute.
do this show. Christy is pulling out her phone.
I'm pulling up my Disney Plus, which has my Kim Possible avatar, which makes me so proud. They didn't have a Ren Stevens avatar, unfortunately.
So, Steven, did you watch the whole thing?
I did, yeah.
Yeah.
I watched it too. I'm just saying I don't remember the very, very end. I
What-
just remembered that Brandon Baker.
So it's pretty much a good. One
You
thing
should do it.
One thing that I really liked about this episode, it really summed up a good moral of the story, that even though the easy way may not necessarily be the right way, right? So even though he could have taken the option to go wash cars, it was a car wash. Go wash cars with everybody instead of sitting in bed for 8 hours, and in the end, he winds up regretting it because he could have been playing video games with y'all and yucking it up.
Yucking it up is what he missed out on.
Yeah, I think it's interesting to see the seeds of this little relationship that they want to have. So yeah, they end up having this like I don't know. I remember towards the end of like the next episode, I start talking about Bobby Deaver, and so I was surprised.
Bobby Deaver was one of your boyfriends on the show, right?
I think he was like, yeah, that's true.
Who was
she
he
had
played
more
by?
than one.
What was his name?
Brandon Davis.
Brandon Davis.
That's right. I actually like that guy. I think we connected a couple of times.
He was like a little bit of a club guy after the fact. You know that, right?
I mean,
I bumped
don't
into
know.
him the last time I bumped into Bobby Deaver was at a club in Hollywood, and he was partying, that's for sure.
Oh.
But
You mean a young actor in Hollywood went out and partied?
yeah,
What?
he was the club promoter of it, and so I remember him being like, "Oh, hey, you're here, welcome." Like I'm like part of the club.
Yeah.
And
Did he ever get you into any places?
I didn't. No, I want to say I was fairly young. I didn't get into like the club scene heavy with like Hyde and stuff like that, like higher end clubs, until I was in my, I want to say like mid 20s. Yeah.
Well, it's funny because I don't even recall. I mean, obviously we were years
I
apart.
saw you out several times after.
Did we?
Yeah. Well, we wouldn't bump it. Well, I'm trying to think of one time we bumped into each other. And another time, yeah, we would go. I saw you out. Like,
That's
you would be
interesting.
like dropping in and out of my life in like the most random
ways. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to recall if we ever connected like in the nightlife scene after post Even
We
Stevens.
did, for sure we did. It was mostly like bars though.
Yeah, I was never big into the nightlife, like into the club scene
Well,
in LA.
you're
anyway.
so chill.
Yeah, it just wasn't my jam. It wasn't my vibe. But I did have some friends that had restaurants or bars, and so they kind of became my connection in the places I'd go to because they were familiar. And
Of course,
it was
you're gonna go to
family.
see your friends.
Yeah.
I was just.
I would
out there.
never. The idea of standing in line someplace and trying to get in was not going to happen.
I
was
almost
not
became
interested
like
in
a
that.
bottle girl at one point. Like I was like
What?
so
No
yeah, dude,
way.
guys. At that
Wow.
one place, I'm not voyeur. That would have been crazy, but it was like it was right in the heart of Hollywood. Jardine.
Oh, Les Jardins.
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh my
yeah.
God.
I've still never been there.
That's
so I
still
don't know.
around.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
it is, but wait, don't go. Le Jardin was hot, okay? And like, I was like going there anyway with a lot of like, I was hanging out with like the Paris Hilton crowd and like a lot of people like
Oh,
that
wow.
for like a minute, for like a good year after a really bad breakup. And I was just like really just trying to find my way in Hollywood, and I didn't work a lot. So I was like, wow, this could be a fun way to network. And like, I don't fucking know. I was really in a whole nother
Whatever
place.
excuse everyone gives themselves to go out and just drink with a bunch
Oh
of.
man,
Yeah,
it was
right?
crazy, dude. Crazy time. I look back and I'm like, what the fuck was I thinking? Anyway, so I meet with the manager. He's like, are you sure you want to do this? And I was like, yeah, no, absolutely. I'll be your girl. Like, I'll be your bottle girl. I'm gonna make good money doing that or whatever.
Oh my god.
And I'm just like kicking myself in the butt. That would have been crazy.
Well, I mean, I will say, like, I know women from back when I was going out in my 20s that are still doing that because they make so much money. Now,
they could make good money, yeah.
Now, granted, it's gone through its ebbs and flows as well. But I mean, if you're working at, like, I forget the one spot that used to be Key Club, and it's not Key Club anymore. It's
One Oak.
One Oak. Yeah, One Oak.
From New York.
That's right, One Oak.
Yeah.
One Oak. I mean, they're making $1,200, $1,500, $2,000 a night.
Yeah, I think that's where my head was at the time.
They're only working a couple nights a week, and that's all they need. And it's like it's crazy world.
It is.
But that was back when people were dropping like, $30,000.
The
on
club
a
scene
table.
was so real back in those 2000s.
It
when we
was,
were all,
I mean, shit, not real for me. I would never drop $30,000 on a
you're
table.
way
It's
too
crazy.
smart.
Well, no, it's all relative though too. Though, like if you're making a crazy amount of money in life, you're a little less concerned with how you spend your cash.
Thanks so much for watching this clip of the Even More Stevens podcast. For full episodes, check us out on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, or wherever you get podcasts.